Welcome to the Straight from the Heart show. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. Today I've got an amazing guest. Thank you very much. Now, this young man that I've got on my show today, his name is Raghav Parkash, and he is a phenomenal young man. He's a young man with the mentality of somebody who's been around the world, who's seen all these things, but it's just, I like to call him the action man. That's who he is, because everything he talks about is action. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome you on board onto the Straight from the Heart show, Raghav, peak performance coach, Parkash.
Yeah, it's quite a reputation you've built for me to live up to, but thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Really sweet words. And wow, I'm glad to be on here. I've seen the great work you're doing with even with the bullying project and everything else you're doing, from the guests you're inviting to the show. You're doing some great things. So you've inspired me, and I'm glad to be on the other side on the hot seat today.
Thank you very much. So you see this young man that I've got in front of you, I used to watch him because I like the way he delivered. I like the way he came across. And it's not about just the delivery, it's the content that came with it. It's the value that came with it. So this young man had a webinar, and I thought, let me join this webinar. So I went on this webinar and I spoke to Raghav, and so it came under something about fear. What are we fearful of doing? So me being a coach at that time, wasn't doing public speaking, and that was my fear. So I sat on this webinar with Raghav, and he said to me, so you need to do Facebook Live. I was like, yeah, cool. When are you going to do it? And this is what I'm talking about, the action man here. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a leaf out of his book. So I think it was around 7 o'clock. I said to him, do you know what? By 9:30 tonight, you're going to get my first live video. And as soon as I came off the webinar, my palms were sweaty. I was shaking, telling my wife, my children, oh shit, what am I going to do? I've got to do this. So he put me in that corner right there where I had to get up and fight, or I was going to fly, and there's no way I was going to fly. So I got up that day and I fought, and that was 3 months ago. And I was fighting from less than a featherweight. Now I'm punching punches as a heavyweight now. And I know Raghav will say it's not due to him, it's due to my actions. But you know what? He's a man that taught me that knowledge is not power. Inspired action is power. So my first question to you, Mr. Rag, how do you get up in the morning and take the action when you've got so much going on in your life?
How so? When Uttam said on the action man, yeah, I'm a big believer in action. I'm a big believer in execution, but I believe in really slowing down and living with purpose and living with conviction. A way you live with purpose, a way you live with conviction is by taking action. But the thing I always recommend everyone do, and funny enough, it's the opposite of action, is actually just to slow down. Because very often we're all in like a rapid fire mode where we're trying to take over the world, we're trying to do everything. And that's good, but we're exerting all this energy and we're trying to chase all these rabbits and we don't catch any. So instead, how do I get everything done? I just slow down in the morning. I have my morning rituals. I know you're a very spiritual person just by the picture you've got in your background. You know, I love religion and spirituality. So I take the morning just to slow down and get really grateful. I recommend everyone out there, take your morning to slow down, get grateful, have a morning ritual of gratitude, because gratitude is power. What gratitude does is it melts your expectation away, and you're living in pure appreciation of who you are, who you want to be, the things you have, and what's possible. So I love gratitude. I slow down, I tap into gratitude, I get really grateful, I fill my heart up with gratitude, and I get energized. And then after the gratitude, I slow down, I say a prayer to the bigger picture of the universe, just to really express my gratitude again. And I do a prayer for the people around me in this world, which just energizes me because it's coming from a real place of just giving in contribution. And then after that, I get focused on my day and think, what do I really want to achieve today that'll make the difference? I reflect on my vision. I reflect on the things I want to create. And then I look back from my vision, what are the key things that are going to help me create that? If there's anything on my to-do list that's outside of the key things that are going to help me create my vision, I don't do it. Because very often it's not important. Instead, I stick to what are my musts, what are my non-negotiables, what are the key things that if I act on will create the most results. because I'm a big believer in Pareto efficiency as well. 80% of your outcome coming from 20% activity. So I look at what are the best outcomes I can do right now that allow me to serve my clients more, allow me to grow, and allow me to move further towards my vision. And I just think in that aspect, I just think what's going to really help me just take the next step right now? What is going to serve me? And I look at my plan, I come up with the best action, and I just focus on those.
Excellent, people. He talked about gratitude. Boom, one golden nugget. Secondly, he talked about the 80-20 rule. Boom. And then he talks about the morning rituals and being grateful again to the universe for what we have, for what's going on, for everything. We're breathing. We've got the opportunity to breathe as soon as we wake up in the morning. Some people don't have that opportunity. We get the opportunity for our feet to touch the ground. Some people don't get that opportunity. They need a carer to get them out of bed. It's the simplest things like that. And Raghav just touched this, just hit the nail on the head. The second question now to you, Raghav, is going to be linked to the first question again. Me and Raghav did this little meetup thing, not even seminar, I'll say meetup thing, which was about the law of attraction. And I know Raghav loves the law of attraction. I love the law of attraction. You guys know my stance on the law of attraction, but I want you to listen to what Raghav has to say about the law of attraction. Can you give us a little, spit some bars, man?
About the law of attraction?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a slightly different angle on the law of attraction. It's a little bit different to what The Secret talks about. Now, I'm a big fan of The Secret. I believe in energy, frequency, vibration. Okay, so the basic principle of the law of attraction is energy, frequency, vibration. Those are the keys that people don't talk about enough, or don't even talk about a lot of. It's what's your energy? Your energy and your frequency and your vibration is created by your thoughts and where you live emotionally. So your emotions are created by the thoughts you have again and again and again. And the more you enrich those thoughts, they create emotions. That emotion has a vibration. So if you want to use the law of attraction, which is I attract what I think about, what I focus on, and what aligns with my energy, it's about having thoughts that would serve you the most. But it goes deeper than that, because most people think the law of attraction is literally just closing your eyes and thinking, I want to visualize £100,000. Right, here we go. Universe, I've got 30 days, go for it. Anytime now would be great. But sitting there with our hands out, closing your eyes, visualizing, thinking that's the law of attraction. It's a slight misconception. The law of attraction, one of my friends actually calls the law of attention. He says all it is the law of attention, because if I give you an example, if you guys and anyone watching were to just look around your room and try and find anything that's the color blue, and you search around the room, you find everything that's blue. And then I asked you, can you tell me right now what's pink or what's green? You couldn't, because you're focused on everything that's pink. So what the law of attraction does is when you say to your mind, I want to attract money, whatever it is, your mind narrows down onto money and looks around your environment for everything to help you create money. Because there's way too much going on. There's way too much noise, way too much color, way too many people, way too much noise going on in the environment. Your brain can't process everything. So there's a part of your brain called the RAS that has to slow down and focus on what you want to attract. What helps you focus on whatever you're thinking about, which is why negative people believe this is the worst world possible, because they find evidence to prove that. Whereas positive people will find the opposite, because they're focused on finding the opposite. So the law of attraction, it's the law of attention and the law of opportunity. Because once you've put your attention onto something, you then create an opportunity to attract that. The money will not fall onto your lap. You will have an opportunity to go and create the money. The relationship won't fall in your lap. If you want to attract a relationship, you will attract the ideal partner in front of you. You've got to go and say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Or can I buy you a coffee? If you don't drink coffee, green tea. Or if you want to take her out to lunch or dinner. If you want to get the job, you might find a director sitting opposite across you in the train and give you the opportunity. But that's why knowledge is only potential. It opens doors. But you've got to have inspired action, which is, this is what I want. This is the opportunity. Am I willing to act? That's it. You combine the action with the energy, the focus. That's the law of attraction for me. Now, I believe the universe does give you opportunities by putting out that energy, frequency, vibration. But the third key, so we've got law of attention, law of opportunity, which is attention creates the opportunity. Opportunity is walking through the door. And the third thing is to activate the law of attraction. The question very few of us forget to ask is, who do I need to become? Because you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. If you don't believe deep down that you can handle the finances, and you've got a belief that says, if I have the money, I'm going to become bankrupt, or I'm going to have to give it all away to family. We're going to have feuds and it's going to tear us apart. Or if I have money, my friends are going to stop talking to me. If you've got a belief like that, a limiting belief or a contradicting belief, what do they call it? You call it a contradicting belief. That's going to stop you from creating the wealth because you've got a belief that's holding you back. So you need to become the person that can handle the relationship, that can handle the money, that can handle the situation. You've got to become that person. And then your energy, frequency, vibration aligns to the result you want to create.
Amazing. And that's taking me back to another webinar that he did. And it was about his £1 million note that he got from Amazon. And he's got that on his, he's going to bring it down. He's going to bring it down. There you go.
There it is. There it is, people.
There you go. But he also said, this is the important part of it. Like he said it in his answer, you need to be that person who's worth that 1 million. The way, when I started the law of attraction, it was exactly the same as through The Secret. I just sat there, asked, believe, and received. 2 years, nothing happened. Nothing happened. But then other thoughts was coming in my head. Oh, what if I do have £2 million in my head? How am I going to explain to people? How did I get it? And it was a fear of success. Now I'm talking, this was about 7 years ago, but now I know what I'm worth. And it used to be, I want to be sitting on the beach in Dubai, not doing anything. It was never going to materialize because I will be working even though I'm on the beach. I'll be doing my podcast from there. I'll be coaching my clients. I'll be talking to people, doing all the different things that I do in my life. And that's very, very important. And thank you so much for that, Raghav.
And you inspired me. There's one more thing on that really quickly. So we got the law of attention, law of opportunity. Then you've got the law of who do I need to become. But just Uttam reminded me, one of the biggest things that will help you activate the law of attraction is really wanting your outcome. Like Uttam said, when he's thinking about the beach or whatever it is, we often define our life and our reality and our future by what our neighbor has, the neighbor's car, the neighbor's watch, a best friend's shirt. I used to do that as a kid. When you came to school, who's got the watch, the new shoes, the cool kids got the new, I remember there was this Action Man when I was younger. Everyone loved Action Man. There's a new watch that came out when I was 9 years old. Everyone wanted it. So we define our life by sometimes what other people are doing, but it's what do you truly want? And when you get into that space, you activate emotion when it's what you want. You link emotion to your outcome. And when you visualize it, I believe in visualizing, you have this emotion that builds up and you've become so associated to your result. You find faster ways of manifesting it. So you've got to love whatever it is you want in your life. It's got to be 11 out of 10. This is what I truly want.
Wow, you hear that? And now this answer that he just gave us, I'm going to bring in my brother Javon Langford, what he says about law of attraction. You have to be specific. Specificity is key. Who likes leftovers? Even though you put it in microwave, it still doesn't taste nice as fresh food. So if you're not specific about what you want, you're just going to get all the crumbs, all the leftovers. Then you're going to be, oh, this is what I want. I just want enough money to pay my bills. That's what you're going to get. There was this married woman that went to see a psychologist saying, oh, all I keep getting is other people's husbands. But what was she doing? She kept asking the universe, please, can I have a husband? Can I have a husband? Can I have a husband? And she kept getting other people's husbands, but she wasn't being specific in what she wanted. If she was specific about it, I want my husband to have these attributes, do this, do that. By reading all these affirmations every day, she would have become that person, and in turn, she would have attracted that person into her life. This is the problem with law of attraction. A lot of people misunderstand it, and they haven't gone deeper into it. They think it's a magic thing, but it's not a magic thing.
And my one thing about that is people rely on it too much. So when you say I'm a big fan of the law of attraction, the one thing I don't want to paint the image of myself is that I'm too much on they call it the airy-fairy side, the lighter side of personal development. I mean, what I do, I'm a peak performance coach. So I believe in what are the best strategies that create results in people's life. And the law of attraction is just one law. It's not the law. It's just one law. It's one vehicle to help you create your extraordinary life. But it's not all the laws on the planet. There's loads. The law of gravity, the laws that we create about how we should act amongst each other or with each other. So the law of attraction is just one law.
Exactly. And like you said, it's the vehicle. Invest in the driver, you being the driver. So you've got the vehicle, you've got the Ferrari right there, the 250 grand car in front of you, who's got the power, who's got everything. But you as the person cannot drive that car at this full potential. Then go out there, man. Go out there and invest in the driver, because the driver is going to get you to the destination. You've got the vehicle. go out there, get the GPS system working out. You're the GPS, and Rag just dropped some amazing thing. So the next thing I'm going to go across, I know from your stories, from knowing about you, what you're about, and your personal journey. Can you talk a bit about your depression side of when you were going through that, and how you dealt with it and what brought it on, please?
Yeah, sure. So my depression side, it kicked in when I was about 15 years old. So I always believed in myself academically from a young age. I knew I had potential. But it got to the age when I was 15 where I struggled with managing the exam stress. And that's why I do what I do as a peak performance coach, because I didn't have these technologies and tools and insights about how you can create confidence, how you can manage your state, how you can be your very best in any situation. I had no idea about these insights, which I have today. But back then, I really struggled to manage my stress, and I went into the exams freaking out, a little bit nervous, in fact. And even then, even though I felt confident at the time, I still believed in myself. I just couldn't get what I had in my mind down on the paper. I used to be able to absorb books. My memory is awesome, but I just couldn't get what I knew and my ability down on the paper. And I struggled. And I let one bad result equal another bad result, where I just kept slipping up at school, and I stopped believing myself. Then because I stopped believing myself, I gave permission to everyone else to stop believing in me too. So they stopped believing in me. And I just lost so much confidence in my ability. And I just felt really bad about myself. So I had to leave that school and go to a really focused academic school. And I had just my belief completely crushed. And because of that, I started emotionally eating because I needed to feel good about myself. So I became overweight very quickly, eating the wrong foods, eating fast food. And I thought that changing schools would be the solution because, you change the schools, environments. But very often, change doesn't need to happen on the outside. It needs to happen on the inside. So I hadn't changed myself. I went for a really scary place then where I was basically alone. And it got to a point where my dad, who was working abroad, he's always been working abroad. So I've grown up with an amazing mum. My dad comes back maybe once a year, twice a year. So I remember there was this one point I came back from school where I just thought everything was going downhill. I was failing my exams. I just couldn't still perform. I couldn't get my best out. I was struggling. And I just thought life can't get any worse. And I came home and I found my brother crying. And he's like, Raghav, you've got to come upstairs. You've got to quickly come upstairs. Something's happened. And I'm thinking, gosh, what the hell's going on? And I walked into my mum's bedroom and she's there crying, saying, Raghav, I've just come back from the doctor. I've got 2 weeks to live. And in that moment, my whole world came crashing down. And I just thought, wow, life can't get any worse. And when you're going through that place in your life, we just think you've hit a roadblock, you've hit rock bottom, and you think life can't get any worse. One, we never say that because life will always find a way of getting worse if you challenge it. But you're only ever just a few millimeters off your biggest breakthrough that you need. You're only just a few millimeters off, not miles off, which I thought I was. So I was going through this place, and my mum made it, by the way. She's rocking healthy. She's a kick-ass awesome yoga teacher. But I went into this place where I just struggled, and I even did really badly in my exams. I had to go to a university where the violence was massive. I had people saying, look, I came out to class, there's someone getting shot outside, you can hear gunshots going off. And it was just a really crazy situation because everyone at that university didn't want to be there. They were there for the wrong reasons because parents said you should go to uni. And that was just knowing I had so much more I could give. Just where I hit rock bottom, I had no compelling future in front of me. I looked at my future and thought, what have I created? I saw the university was at the grey buildings. I thought, what have I created for my life? I looked at myself. I looked at my relationship, my family. I just lost belief in me. That just had no idea what the hell was going on. I lost a lot of faith in my friends. I just was in a really dark place in my life. And when you hit rock bottom, some of us need to go there because when you hit rock bottom, it's actually the most beautiful place to recreate yourself. The most beautiful place. So I hit rock bottom and something inside of me just snapped. I got so sick and so tired of being in that place that something said, Raghav, enough's enough. This is rubbish. I remember the voice in my head said, enough's enough. It just snapped. And what came into my head straight away was, you need to get out of this university. You need to go to a university where you really want to shine, where you want to perform, where you'll be challenged. So I did that. I started really taking charge of my life by setting a really powerful goal. I worked towards it, achieved the goal, went to a great university. And even then, I was outperforming the students that had smashed straight A's in their A-levels. I was doing really, really well. I was outperforming one of the top performers. And that's when I really started this journey of getting into coaching because I turned things around and I just thought, wow, I'd love to give back to other people. And even then, I hadn't completely rebuilt myself from inside. But this journey of personal development is amazing. So what really helped me turn things around was getting to a place where I got sick and tired, because we're all driven by pain and pleasure. So I had to hit rock bottom. I hit this massive pain. I just thought enough's enough. And I made something called a life-changing decision. I had a life-changing day. And that can be made by anyone. You don't have to hit rock bottom. You can make a life-changing decision today, which is, I know I've settled on, I know I haven't been my best self yet, but this is the life I want to create. This is the life I'm going to create. You can make that decision today, that today can be your best day of your life. Today's going to be the start of a new life. And I had to lose a lot to make that decision, but sometimes we don't need to go through that. But if you do, then there's a big blessing behind everything, because I'm grateful for that whole journey, because if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have cultivated emotional strength, emotional resilience, focus, energy, drive. I wouldn't be doing what I do today. So everything happens for a reason.
Wow. Again, look what he's dropping in there. He's dropped the 2mm rule. That's something that I know Raghav loves, and I love that too as well. You're only 2mm away, and he's a golf man as well. So that's his 2mm there. The change comes from inside. The change starts from the inside, it's not from the outside. So when you're out there thinking, if I'm rich, I'll be happier. If I've got this, I'll be happier. If I have that person, I'll be happier. You won't, because you'll still be that same person with that £1 million. You'll still be that same person with that gorgeous woman on your arm. And you're just going to end up destroying everything else. So the change comes from within inside. And through the spiritual world, what I like to say, you have to crack yourself open, have a look what's in there and rebuild it, bring the nutshell back in, and then you're coming out, come back, championship mode, beast. So this is what you have to do. And he just hit the nail on the head again. Rag does this thing every morning called RP Daily. It's such a nice inspiration. When I have time, yes, I do watch it, or catch up with it. I always do catch up with it in the evening, because you do give a lot of value. What inspired you to start doing the RP Daily?
I just, I love what I do as a coach. And I know coaches love what they do, but I seriously love what I do. I'm really connected with my mission, my passion for serving others, from a passion to help people feel empowered. And that's really one of the big reasons I do RP Daily. My mission is to spread the tools of empowerment to 7 million people across the globe. What that means is you go to seminars, you go to events, you go to webinars, knowing that you're not broken, knowing that you're not incomplete, knowing that there's something wrong with you, you're tainted, but you come here knowing that you're perfectly imperfect and you just want the next level. You want more from yourself. You want to create that extraordinary life. You're in a good place and you want to get to a great place. I want to give people the tools to help them get to that place just internally where they feel really strong, really good. And then they can rebuild and focus on peak performance. It's those tools that you can be your own switch. You can be your own trigger. You can empower yourself. You don't need other people to do it for you. You don't need coaches, but you want coaches because you want more. You don't need webinars, but you're here just because you might as well, because you really love yourself. So you can help yourself in any moment. That's my mission, to spread these tools to 7 million people across the world, and even through schools as well. So there's lots of things I want to do. And I do RP Daily just because I love spreading tools of empowerment. Every single day when I do a video, it's not a pump up message. I don't believe in motivation, but I believe in what is the best strategies I can give anyone. Right now, if you want to overcome a fear, if you want more confidence, if you want to step into the best version of you, have personal power, be the best at your work, create more results at your work, what is one tool I can give you right now, here today, that if you apply, you will, and it's not you might, if you apply it, you will create results. That's what I do every video. Guarantee, if you apply this one step, you're going to create a result. So for me, that's why I do it. To spread one tool to someone out there that really needs to hear that, because my audience vary different backgrounds, but every video I get one person saying, Rag, I really needed this tool today. Thank you. It's going to impact one life profoundly. It'll touch others, it'll touch hundreds, but it'll impact one by one life every single day.
And that's what it's about. I know exactly where you're coming from as well. I get messages from all over the world on my live videos, and people, when I first started getting these messages, I was in this dark place, and you really came out with your video. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't talk to family, all the way from Australia, India, all around the globe. And it's just the one message. As soon as you wake up in the morning and you're getting a message like that, and this is what doing what you love and loving what you do is about. And we're running short on time now. And the last thing I want to ask you will be, I'm UTAM. I've been in the same job for 20 years. I'm fed up with it. I want to do what I really want, what I love. But I've been in this job. It's my security, pays the mortgage, looks after my wife and children. Give me 3 golden nuggets, 3 tools, empowerment tools, as you like to call them, to help me towards living the life that I want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 3 things straight away. Number 1 is develop your vision. When you talk about creating a life you want, the question to ask is, what do you want? Because very often we think this is what we want. I need a car, I need a Ferrari. I'll be happy once I have the Ferrari. You and me both know that's BS. What's going to make you happy is deciding right now. So just check in with yourself and ask yourself, that vision that I want, why? Why do I want it? What do I really want? If it's, okay, look, I want a better school for my kids, and something that's really going to serve you deeply and powerfully, beautiful. But if it's, look, I'm really unhappy because I haven't got another Ferrari. I've got one, but I need a Lamborghini as well. Come on, have a reality check. Define your vision. What do you really want? What is that you truly, truly want? So when you talk about you being stuck, and very often I've been there myself. When I'm in a stuck place, all you can think about is being stuck. But you've got to change your focus. Design your vision. I haven't got my journal with me, but I've got, and this is like the part 1A, get a really nice journal for yourself, leather journal, and I write my vision in here that I'm going to reflect on. So I look at my vision and define that clearly. What is the life in your terms? Because it's law of attraction. Whatever you focus on, you steer towards. So if you're stuck, know your outcome. What do you want? Where do you want to get to? Because once you define that, you can then work out the how. If I said, Uttam, I want you to take me somewhere, where do you want to go, Raghav? I don't know, you pick. I'm going to sleep. Tell me when we're there. You'll be like, where are we going? So define where you want to go. The second thing is get a mentor and a coach. I say both because a mentor is someone that's been in the field, has got experience, they can give you insights and guidance. And a coach is someone that helps you extract the very best version of you from yourself. So once you know where you want to go, a coach and a mentor can help you bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be in the fastest time possible. And the last thing I'd say, it's really tough because there's 2 that are coming to my mind right now, but it depends. So there's 2 right now. Give
us both.
Okay. So this is just based on what conversations I've had. The third thing, A and B. A is transition. So if you're in a stuck place, I believe in burning the boats from the point of view of really committing to create the life in your terms, but don't take silly risks. When you think of Richard Branson, people think of Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, they didn't go to uni and they just went for and took risks. Someone like Richard Branson had money behind his name, had wealth because he went to a private school. So the other thing he did is he always protected the downside. He always had his risks covered, like Virgin Atlantic. If it didn't work, he could sell the planes back to the owner at the price he brought them off him from. Protect the downside. So transition. If you want to start a business, transition. Don't go for silly risks. Build your vision while you're in your 9-to-5 job. And then once your vision is strong enough, powerful enough, creating money, then take the leap. B is work on your mindset. So once you're building this plan, have a plan of how you can transition from the life you have to the life you want. And then eventually you don't need the life you have anymore and you can live the life you want. That's what I did for myself. I transitioned and it's a beautiful journey. B, feed your mindset every single day. Now, I'm a big fan of Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn says work harder on yourself than anything else. Every day you've got to feed your mind, you've got to strengthen your mind, because if you don't take charge of your mindset, you're going to allow this environment in this world to strengthen your mind and feed your mind. It won't strengthen your mind, it will influence your mind, and not always in the best way. You've got to watch your mind, you've got to master your mindset, because 80% of everything in life is mindset. You've got to cultivate that belief system, that being, to help you create the life in your terms. Because if you don't, then you're being influenced by society. And if you do what society do, you're going to have the same way of life as them. You're watching video because you want something else. You want more. So you need to adopt your mindset and think like the people that have got the results you want. So work hard on your mindset every single day.
Phenomenal. Raghav, you've been amazing as usual. And I've always wanted you to coach me, as you know that. And I want to bring the law of attraction in it as well. I think it was 3 months ago I asked for that. And today I've had my own personal coaching session right here in my living room, guys. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. The day that he asked me to come and help him to do his law of attraction, you should have seen I was like a kid. Christmas is coming, got ready, came down to London, and that meant a lot for me. And you got that momentum as well for me. And the other thing that you taught me was what you just talked about now, the transition. Because I used to be a believer of burning your boats. Now that I've looked deeper into it, it could lead you to depression. It could lead you to a lot of things. I've seen close friends of mine who are coaches. Their missus and their kid has walked out on them because they burnt the boats. They don't know how to pay the rent in 3 months, 3 weeks' time. And that's a rash decision to take. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for being part of my journey. I want to thank you for blessing my show. I want to thank you for dropping these golden nuggets for people. And one of the main reasons I do my podcast is when I was really, really broke and I got into my personal development, I used to sit every night on a seminar from the US from Australia, like 3, 4 in the morning, setting the alarm, sit there for 1 hour. And at the end to tell me you've got to spend $5,000, that used to break my heart. And I know people are in that position right now in life where they can't afford it. They can't afford your fee. They can't afford my fee. But you know what? We're giving that half an hour of something that can empower their lives, that can change them. So we are serving. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for doing that. And you're going to be empowering so many lives, and which you already are doing. And I really want to bring this into it. I know you've got your seminar coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more of when your seminar is and how people can access it and how they can get tickets to it, please?
Yeah, amazing. Awesome. So my seminar is Master Your Mindset, funny enough. As you can tell, as a performance coach, the one thing I love is mindset. And what I do as a peak performance coach is I'm obsessed with patterns. I love patterns. The patterns that create confidence, the patterns that create motivation, the patterns that create depression, patterns all over the place that create certain results. So what you're going to get Master Your Mindset is 2 days of immense value where I'm going to share with you my very best strategies on how you can create confidence. And not just airy-fairy pump-up stuff. There's no pump-up. I'm going to give you the tools to create the real and long-term lasting confidence. How you can crush any habit. How you can eradicate limiting beliefs. How you can create any result you want, whether it's even lasting motivation, how to create real and lasting motivation. How to overcome tough challenges effortlessly. How to really start believing in the person you are and where your beliefs come from and how you can create your beliefs. And importantly, how you can operate at peak performance wherever you are. So you're going to get my very best tools at this event, and it's going to be complete value. And the thing about this event is there's not going to be any hard pitch back of the room. When you come to Master Your Mindset, you're going to get my best tools of mindset. There's not going to be another upsell about this mindset course. Is my best stuff. And I'm doing it at a really good rate. And for Uttam's guys, anyone through this webinar, I'd love to give you a slightly different price, a better discount. Just as a thanks to Uttam for being a really awesome dude, doing some great stuff. I'd love to offer you guys a discount. So when the tickets are out, which will be October the 10th afterwards, if you want to buy a ticket and you see this webinar, reach out to me, say, hey, Rag, I watched Uttam's webinar. What can you do for Master Your Mindset? Message me. And I'd love to get you a ticket. I'd love to have you along. And Uttam's going to be there hopefully as well. It's going to be 2 awesome days.
I'm always there to support, Rag, as you know. And
that's 26th, 27th of November. I was out speaking at an event yesterday and I was about to walk off stage. Someone said, Rag, what date's it? I was like, good point. I need to show the dates. I've got the dates. So 26th to 27th. You might need to know that. There we go.
Oh, do you know what now, Rag? I'm going to let it run. I don't care because we're just talking. And you're talking about, you did a webinar, seminar yesterday. I want to talk to people when you did Your Pain's Your Power. The way you entered the room. I've got goosebumps right now. If I can show you my arm, I've got goosebumps. You know what? I had to take my hat off to you there. He came in like a king through the double doors. I won't even say they were brass handles. I'll say they were gold for your sake, because you're a man of a heart of gold. And that was, you know what? That was awesome. And that's what you're about, awesomeness.
You know, it's just having fun. That was me just having fun. And I believe that if you're on this journey of personal development, enjoy it. It's a beautiful journey. And I just have fun all the way along I go, even my clients. It's great being serious when you talk about creating confidence, but you can have fun too. Why not do both?
Exactly. So guys, grab your notepads, get yourself down to his seminar, because he's not going to be Mr. Motivator. He's not going to be doing all that. You're going to be writing. Keep writing. And his seminars is a classy affair. This guy's class. You look at him, he's standing in the Ritz with his LV belt on. This is him. So this is Raghav. He bought me a hot chocolate. a few months ago, and I would like to return that favor. I would like to buy you your mocha or your whatever coffee you want, and I'll be taking you to the Ritz,
I
and
appreciate that.
we're gonna go there, and that's gonna be a thank you to you for coming on my show, for touching my lives, for making me help myself to make what we've done today happen. And on that note, I'm going to end the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all my viewers, all my supporters. As always, I'm going to say to you, live well with one another, because if we don't, what is the point? Signing out from straight from the heart, I'm Yutamar Miraz. And please don't forget, Millionaires Against Bullying, mabwow.org, doing some amazing things coming from Fort Lauderdale in the US of A. Look out for these guys. We're going to take the world by storm. And please support. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon.